Shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So me and my wife, we are both engineers, and we started our journey understanding a lot of things, including nature. So I asked you a question in the beginning. What is the examples of cycles that you can give? Very quickly. I don't want to wait for your answer. I need to be very proactive. How do we see the cycles of nature? I mentioned one, water cycle. Any other cycles that we are seeing in our nature surroundings? Huh? Oxygen cycle, okay. Carbon cycle, okay. Oxygen cycle, carbon cycle. Food cycle, okay. Water cycle, huh? Is there something called nitrogen cycle?
Yes.
Nitrogen cycle, where the atmospheric nitrogen is converted to nitrites by the bacteria in the soil, and then those are converted to the roots and the food for the plants. Yes. Then there is the ozone also. There is the geomagnetic field of the earth. How is the geomagnetic field of the earth generated? Very good, you have the answer. Who is saying magma? Who said it? The larva inside the earth's crust is rotating at a particular speed. Now, just like a dynamo which is coiled around it with copper wires, our earth underneath is like a gigantic ball of fire. Who can we agree with that? We have seen volcanic eruptions everywhere, right? Tectonic plates are shifting. Who has heard about the splitting of Africa? The great horn of Africa is going to split, and there is going to be a sea in between. You have heard of it. Very good. So you are aware of these things. Tectonic plates are shifting, mountains are rising, all these things are happening because of magma which is flowing underneath our feet, right? So this is creating a geomagnetic field that is millions of miles away from the earth. I'll show you a representation of the same in the PowerPoint presentation. So I'm just touching on a lot of things together. Today is being an introduction. I want you guys to be very alert, because this is part of your pilot project that we are going to do. Father has accepted your class to be one of them. Participation is paramount. First of all, quickly I will just take a help of this PPT. Me and my missus, we are environmentalists. We turn to environmentalists because it is the need of the hour. Can we accept that there is something problem with the earth? No. Everything is fine? No. Something is wrong. Yes. So we can agree on that. What is wrong? We need to identify it. So we have identified some of the things that are wrong with the earth, and that's why we have come from far and wide, learning a lot of things over the years. I was born and raised in Kenya. Who has heard of the country? Kenya, East Africa.
Yes.
Okay. Most of the time when you say Africa, nothing like that. Africa is very developed right now. Rwanda is one of the cleanest countries, not even just a city. Rwanda is the cleanest country. It is having zero corruption. Can you imagine an African country, zero corruption? Worth visiting. Great wildlife, gorillas and all these kind of things you can see. Okay. So I was born and raised in East Africa. My native town here in Gujarat, where my ancestors left for Africa something like 80 years ago, was Sukparoa, on the route to Nalia. You might have heard of that. Have you seen how a child plays?
Yes.
Have you noticed what it does, or what a child does when he or she is playing? Can you give me an example what they do when they are playing? They move in circles, or they have a sort of a pattern that is going in circles. Just observe again based on this theory. Okay. So now we are seeing that the moon is going around the earth. Is that true? Yes. And then the earth is going around the sun. Is that true? Yes. And then the sun is going around the galaxy. Is that true? Yes. So now say something is goal going and everything. Acha, atomic level pe, if you look at the atom, there's something spinning around the nucleus, right? Right? Protons and neutrons, something is spinning around it, electrons, right? So at the rudimentary fundamental level, everything is at celebration, and everything wants to be at an equilibrium. You leave a hot pot of water here, it will turn to room temperature. It wants to be equilibrium. Everything surrounding by it, it affects the pot of hot water. So similarly, we are surrounded by natural cycles. We are immersed in natural cycles. We are breathing in air that the plants are living out. Is that true? And then we reach to a point where we say that we should be in a gratitude that so many cycles are working together. The ozone is being generated. You know how the ozone is generated? Who can give me a glimpse? How is the ozone created? The ozone reflects 99% of your sun's rays. 99%. Imagine if you are standing outside, you are saying, oh my God, it's so hot, I am sweating, so much heat today. Just 1% of the earth's atmosphere, it is allowing the sun to come in. Otherwise 99% of the rays are reflected back into space by the ozone. Just 1% is coming in right now, and we are outside and we are feeling hot. Just 1%, imagine. The rest are reflected back to the space by the ozone. How is the ozone created? What is the molecular structure of ozone? Who can give me? Ninth, you should be knowing this. What is the molecular structure of ozone? How many molecules are there of oxygen to make an ozone molecule? Okay, I'll just tell you the answer. 3 molecules. The oxygen molecule stays in nature as O2, but it decomposes or it tries to look for a partner when it has a lightning. So when the lightning occurs, the lightning strikes at that area, the temperature is so high, millions of degrees, that oxygen molecules which are O2 in natural form, they split, and then they start looking for a partner. They don't want to stay alone, so they will combine with another O2 and they will create O3, and that O3 is now the ozone. Okay, so that's how the ozone is created. Whenever lightning happens, your ozone layer is being rejuvenated. Okay, so these are just more kind of things that we are touching on. There is a lot of history about these things that we need to know of. We are taught these things in the classroom, but we are not taught the integrity of all of it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about. So the first thing we said that everything is going in circles. At atomic level also everything is going in circles. We agree with this. And one more thing, do we have a heart? Yes. Do plants have a heart? No. So how does the liquid travel up and down in the plants? Roots. What is that function where the water goes up, or the xylem and phylum? Through what? What is that process called? Transpiration. Water travels, transpiration. Okay, then how does the xylem and phylum help in this process? Nutrients from the soil, and then the sun's rays are converted by photosynthesis into glucose, and that glucose, that sap which is created, now travels all over the plant, and then they create the new foliage or the new fruits or vegetables, whatever it is. Okay, plants do not have a heart, but the moon, it travels near to our earth. I will just show you that slide quickly. When the full moon is there, the distance from the earth to the moon is 3,56,000 kilometers. Okay, now you can just approximate this to about 357, and this to approximately 406. Do you see a difference? Yes. So that means that when the moon is like this and when the moon is like this, there's a difference of how many kilometers? About 50,000 kilometers. Okay, the moon is revolving around the earth at a difference of 50,000 kilometers. It goes away and then it comes back near. It goes away and comes away. It is going around at an elliptical orbit. It's not a perfect circle. Elliptical orbit. Difference being 50,000 kilometers. Okay. So now what is the impact of that? Why is that happening? What justification does that do to nature, and how a plant is able to grow because of this simple thing? This is taught in science. It's not taught in science. These are small secrets that we are not even aware of, how the plants are surviving. So the difference of 50,000 kilometers creates a gravitational difference. When the moon is full moon, it is nearer to the earth. Technically what will happen? It will nullify a little bit of earth's gravity and it will levitate the water towards the moon. Then when the new moon is there, when it's completely dark, Amavas, you know the word they are using that in Hindi. That happens, and when that happens, the moon is far away. When the moon is far away, what gravity attracts again the water? the earth's gravity. So if you look at it technically, this is what happens to trees. They don't have a heart, but the water at the new moon is going towards the ground, because at the new moon we saw that the moon was further away from the earth. What happens? The gravity of the earth attracts the water down to the roots. Imagine if the farmer knows that when it's harvest time, he needs to harvest when it is new moon, when the water is down under the ground. He will harvest the wheat, and the wheat is on top, and the wheat will not have moisture content. That lack of moisture will allow the wheat to survive longer. The कीड़े उसमें नहीं पड़ेंगे. There will be no insects coming into that wheat, into that beans, into that moong dal, whatever it is. When they harvest in the new moon. Imagine if we harvest at the full moon. The water content is high because the new moon is attracting the water. The water is staying up. Then he harvests at that time. What will happen? The moisture, it will be the dane. There will be a lot of moisture in the seeds. And then what happens? It starts decomposing. It starts getting fungus and all these kind of things. Okay. So harvest time is when? During the new moon. And when you are growing the things, when you should be growing? Full moon. Because the water will be staying up. It will be staying above the ground. Almost above the ground. So when the water is up, it stays up for 7 days. Your sprouting of the seeds will happen at a better value. Your seeds will sprout very easily when you are planting at the full moon. Just before the full moon, 2-3 days before it, you just plant at that time, you will have a good sprouting. Okay. Anybody has any questions?
We have talked about ozone layer, and I have listened that ozone layer is breaking somewhere. It is breaking. So how we can repair it? What to do with it?
Okay, so the ozone layer is breaking. We heard about the ozone layer, how it is made. How is it made?
By O3.
O3, yes. How is O3 made? Because of lightning. That is the answer. Lightning is creating the ozone layer. We are CFC. You have heard of it? Chlorofluorocarbons? Yes. CFC. The creator of the hole in the ozone. Did you know there was a hole in the ozone? Why did that hole occur in the ozone? We have an air conditioner here. We don't have an air conditioner. Very good. Wherever there is refrigerants and air conditioners, AC, इसको कहते हैं AC की हवा चाहिए मेरे को. I need the AC. The AC has a refrigerant inside it, the cooling gas inside it. Before they knew this, they were using CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. Those gases, they get leaked out into the atmosphere. They go to the atmosphere. They create or they disintegrate the ozone particles, molecules, and then they created a hole. And everybody in the scientist community, they said this is something wrong happening. Everybody stopped using CFC. That's why you don't know about CFC. This is about 10 or 15 years ago. They had CFC in every refrigerant, in every AC, in every fridge. They used to use CFCs. So now they are not using. Also, there are other things that are harming the ozone. Have a seat. Like pollutants. There are pollutants, right? What kind of pollutants are there? Is our air perfect? Is our water perfect? Is our landfills, landfills are full of garbage and all this, we think we are knowing, right? As responsible leaders of tomorrow, I am asking you this question now. As responsible leaders of the future, as responsible guardians of the earth of the future, as responsible businessmen and women of the future, what do you think? Should we continue with the air pollution, with the water pollution, with the earth's pollution and discarding of garbage and all this? Okay, so who is responsible now? Suddenly, is the government responsible? No. Who is responsible? Us. We are the citizens, we are the people, we are the ones who have been waiting for. किसी की wait करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Sorry, मैं हिंदी हूँ. We need not wait for anyone to help us into salvation. We are our own salvationists. We are our own sculptors. Okay? Shall I go on? One more slide. Do we have time? I'm just not aware of the time. 7 minutes. So I will take one point But before that, I need to have questions. Otherwise, I'll not feel good. I'll say I went to that school, but I did not get my food. I need questions. That is my food. Okay. Let's ask this group a question. What kind of business would you like to do when you grow up? Working. Why working? In where? Navy working. Because you can travel through the sea and everything. Just visit all continents. Okay. I have in my life traveled to 3 continents actually. I've been to Asia, obviously right now I'm in Asia. I've been to Africa. I've been to Europe. There's one thing I would like to say about traveling. Don't live your life just spaced in one area. This is a small guarding spiritual thing I'm telling you. The world is vast. You need to explore it. Okay? Don't be confined to your town or to your city. Explore the world. It is a very big world. Have a couple of friends who wants to travel also. See the world. Okay? That's my small advice. Okay, this group, any question? Yes. I am finally getting some food. These 2 groups have not given me any food. Yes.
Sir, if the farmers will harvest during...
Yeah, I have very big ears. If I tune to like this, now I will have an explosion here. I need pin drop silence. God has given me big ears to listen in this life. And one mouth which is I'm trying to also say something good.
If the farmers harvest during waning or waxing moon, what will happen to the crops?
If the farmers are harvesting during the waning and waxing moon, when the water is going down or when the water is traveling up? See, the water is traveling up here.
If water is traveling up on waxing moon, what will happen?
So what kind of food is it? Is it a seed or is it a ground root? What kind of food is it? You have to be sure of that. Seeds. So seeds you have to look at harvest this time. When the water is returning to the ground, when the moon is away from the earth, just 2 days you wait, 7 days you wait, you will harvest at this time, you will have a very good harvest. That harvest will be less in weight because there is less water, but there will be less chances of it getting infection from fungus, viruses and these insects. If it is a seed, harvested at this time. You can look it up, when to harvest according to moon cycle, Google it, you will get the answer. It is there. Okay?
So you said that different
Please, thank you. Yes.
like if farmers, if there is something which needs more water, so he should plant it on new moon day.
Right.
But the phases of moon, it changes every 15 days.
Exactly.
So which means if something which needs less water is planted on new moon day, it has more chances of getting fungus and that.
Okay, I'll give you a small understanding of this thing. When the seeds are sprouting, have a seat. When the seeds are sprouting, it sprouts and it grows the beginner's roots in the couple of days itself. If you grow mung bean, it will grow within 5 days. It has a root system like this big. 5 to 6 days, it has a root this long, right? So basically, when you are planting some things and you plant when the water is up high, like when the water is traveling up, what will happen? The seed will get the moisture it needs to survive. And obviously you will say that after that the water will go down, but the root is also going down, right? So this is the secret that I'm trying to say. When the farmers, they just follow this sort of pattern where they used to do it before. They used to do it according to the moon, but now I'm telling you scientifically how to do it. So our sessions, I'm trying to conclude now. We'll take a question from you guys also. Our sessions are based on nature's knowledge being brought up again with scientific understanding. Okay? So that's why I need your participation. That's why we had a very good question from her, from you. I also need more questions. That is my food, and that's how I will also survive. Because otherwise, I will come here, I will disclose my things, and I will go. Tomorrow I will have nothing to do, give to you, because all the questions have been answered. Okay? So the more questions I get, I also have some food for thought and for understanding. Yes. Yes. One last question. Yes.
Sir, how O2 breaks when lightning occurs?
Okay. We will just cover this very quickly and then we'll just finalize. The question is how does O2 break? Have a seat. How does O2 break when the lightning occurs? Lightning occurs, millions of voltage travels from the clouds up in the sky towards the earth. We understand that? Millions of voltage equals to millions of degrees of heat and temperature. In fact, if the lightning strikes the tree literally splits in two. Have you seen those kind of videos? In the YouTube it is there. Lightning strikes a person, that person dies. Right? So, these are millions of voltage, and when they are traveling at such a high speed at a short span of time, they are increasing the that area where the lightning is traveling, they increase the temperature to millions of degrees. And during that time, the molecules of two oxygen molecules, they split, and that in that heat, and then they start looking for their partner because they want to stay to O2. They can't find it, though they will find O2 already. They will combine with O2, and one O will become O3. This one will become O2, O1 again, O3. So two particles of oxygen split together will combine with another oxygen particles to make O3. They will travel up into the atmosphere and they will stay there. They will become light. Okay? So that's how it happens. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll continue again. We'll come back again. The class is very attentive, and I would like you to also participate more. That's only my request is. See, your moment you will be shy. You will live for tomorrow, for the jobs and for the businesses that you will do. Nobody will ask you, okay, what do you think? They will just tell you what to do. This is an opportunity where you are told and given an opportunity to ask your questions. Ask the questions. You make the teacher mad with the questions. I was a student who used to make my teachers go mad. That's why I said, if the teacher does not know, I will become the teacher myself. And that's how I become a teacher. I was the most stubborn student. Backbencher mein, I used to ask the questions and make a teacher go mad. Okay? So always ask questions. You are young, this is your right. Right to education also means the right to ask questions. Okay? So it was great fun to have a discussion with you guys. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Yes. Who has not enjoyed themselves? Who has enjoyed themselves? Okay, that's good. That's a good volunteer. That's another good thought forward. So clap to yourself. You have been a great audience. Okay? We'll meet again hopefully maybe in a week or two, and we'll get to know more questions from you. Hopefully. Okay? Thank you. 10 questions from you. Who is the monitor will remind me next time I come. Okay. Thank you. You ask questions, you'll get to learn more. No?
Hello sir, my name is Kriti and I am from class 9C. I would like to thank you on behalf of our whole St. Xavier school. You came here and we had enjoyed your class very much, and we have learned a lot from your class. Thank you so much sir for coming here.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
My name is Vedant and I am from 9C, and I enjoyed the class because we don't get this knowledge from books, but this is the extra knowledge we get from you and your people like you who teach the students that they don't get to in schools and tuitions and whatever it is. So thank you so much to you, and we'll enjoy the next classes also. Thank you so much.
Thank you.